Hello everyone, in this video, we will analyze the issues in the Nintendo case study and give advice to mitigate these problems. Firstly, we will have a brief view of Nintendo case. Nintendo is one of the world's largest video game companies established in 1889. It creates many top-selling video game franchises, such as Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Pokémon. Its products contain home consoles and handheld consoles. After the failure of Wii U, Nintendo planned to launch another home console, Nintendo Switch. The senior management of three divisions of Nintendo, Nintendo America, Nintendo Australia and Nintendo Japan, has had a video conference mainly concerning how to deliver the value of new product to customers. The participants of this conference consist of Tatsumi Kimishima, President of Nintendo of Japan and COO of American subsidiary, Reggie Fils-Aime, who actually hosts the conference, and senior management of Australian subsidiary, Tom Inoki, Managing Director of Nintendo Australia, born in Japan. Liam Meyer, Head of Marketing. Molly Nur, Head of Sales. Frank McCoy, Head of Finance, and Nancy Carlson, Head of Human Resource Management. However, some issues within the team of the manner to implement the business plan of Nintendo were reflected from the video conference and several meetings of Nintendo Australia senior management, which may result in the failure of Nintendo. These problems can be categorized as communication issues, conflicts issues and motivation issues. Firstly, we will focus on the personality of these characters. Reggie is extroverted and a high level of conscientiousness. Reggie dominated the video conference. His speech frequently used words like have to, must, to show his dominance and assertiveness. He pounded the table, red-faced and out of breath when he delivered the speech, which showed that he was very impulsive. Most of time he was delivering speech and was less listening to others. These are typical traits of extroversion. In terms of conscientiousness, Reggie has significant desire of achievement and leading, and he clearly pointed out the direction for management, which showed his effectiveness in setting and maintaining goals. Tatsumi seems to act at the opposite of Reggie. He kept quiet in the conference, most of time he was smiling and nodding, lack of activeness and impulsiveness, which is considered introversion. When he answered other participants' question, he carefully chose the right words to avoid any potential conflicts, showing his care about others' feeling and the cooperativeness, which means he has a high level of agreeableness. Molly was short-tempered about her disagreement with Liam's behavior. In her mind, she and Liam would never reach an agreement, so she just kept complaining about Liam's behavior and refused Nancy's advice to talk to Liam. This indicates a low level of agreeableness. Moreover, she takes negative view of things, and because of her anxiety and irritation, she lost her temper to others who was trying to comfort her. This also implies a high level of neuroticism. She works beyond her job responsibilities because of Liam's negative act, which brings her dissatisfaction and makes her persistent and controlling. Liam shows a low level of agreeableness. He only showed irritation and disagreement about Nancy's complaint and passively cooperated with Molly's work in Nintendo Japan's instruction on marketing. He also shows low level of openness and low level of conscientiousness. He was satisfied with his job performance and lack of responsibility. He thought it was enough to do whatever Nintendo head office asked him to do. He refused to take risk and to come up with new ideas to make achievement when lack of reward. Nancy has high level of agreeableness, high level of conscientiousness and high level of emotional stability. She never disputed with anyone and always tried to solve conflicts in a calm and friendly manner even when Molly lost temper to her. She kept rational and indifferent between Liam and Molly under stress, which shows her self-disciplined and responsible traits. Frank is also similar to Nancy, as he also tried to retain a peaceful work environment and try to give advice to Liam to fix the problems in operations. Tom is low of openness as he loves certainty. He just repeated Nintendo's instruction and gave direction, but he did not try to encourage innovations to motivate the team dynamics. He takes little consideration of his employee feelings and employee relationships. When there are team conflicts, he did not take the responsibility as a leader to fix it, just leaving the conflicts to his team. Thus, he is considered to have moderate level of agreeableness. What he only needs is the work to be done. However, the reward structure also failed to motivate employees' effort. He is neither a good transformational leader nor a good transactional leader. Therefore, we think that he has low level of conscientiousness. There are conflict issues within Nintendo Australia, and the conflicts are mainly concentrated between Liam, head of marketing, and Molly, head of sales. The reasons that can lead to the above problem are as follows: team interdependence, personality and attitude. Firstly, we start our analysis with team interdependence, as it is usually a cause of disagreement in team collaboration, according to how team members are connected. Team interdependence is divided into three parts, namely task interdependence, goal interdependence and outcome interdependence. In our case of Nintendo Australia, since Liam and Molly are both responsible for the sales of Nintendo Switch, and their bonus are highly correlated with the success of the product, they should be consistent with each other in terms of goal setting and outcome expecting. However, conflicts arise due to task interdependence within the company. In the process of the launch of Nintendo Switch, the Department of Marketing is expected to do sufficient promotions to stimulate sales. Under these circumstances, task interdependence is both sequential and of high level. Thus, successful sales significantly rely on the Department of Marketing. In the perspective of Molly, Liam never adds anything valuable to his job, and she herself has to take on more Liam's responsibilities to get things done. Secondly, personality is another cause of the conflicts. Based on the Big Five personality model, we conclude that both Liam and Molly are not emotionally stable. When facing with disagreements, the lack of emotional stability can result in a negative work environment and make the situation less manageable. They are not able to control their temper, thus, there has never been a chance for them to sit face to face and communicate to deepen the understanding. Besides, Molly is much more conscientious compared to Liam, and the high level of conscientiousness makes her persistent and controlling. Liam, on the contrary, has less desire to lead, and is unwilling to make any change in his job, which suggests that he refuses to take on more risks, and he is more prone to the obedience of authorities instead of taking the initiative. Moreover, both Liam and Molly show a low level of agreeableness, thus, they become irritated and short-tempered in the face of any disagreement from each other. Thirdly, team cooperation and performance has been negatively affected by members' attitudes. Attitude can be subdivided into attitude towards jobs and attitude towards people. On the one side, Liam has always taken a negative attitude towards his job in marketing, and the negative attitude directly leads to a lack of responsibility. On the other side, people's actions can be influenced by their attitude towards others. Liam and Molly consider each other as offensive and unfriendly, and these beliefs lead to a hostile manner, which impedes them from communications and collaborations. By solving the conflicts, there are expected to be more communication and cooperation among team members and, as a result, a better performance in promotion and sales. What to do in the first place is that both sides should frankly exchange in-depth views regarding the following jobs in a friendly atmosphere. To avoid escalation of future disputes, it is necessary to reach to an agreement in terms of task allocation and responsibility distribution. The long-term method recommended is the implementation of an integrative negotiation strategy in order to maximize joint gains of two sides. Integrative negotiation aims at a win-win result, and the success of this strategy depends on inventing options for mutual gains. As a result, Liam and Molly should focus more on commonalities other than differences, show more concerns for each other's position, and cooperate to achieve the superordinate goal.
There are communication issues that happened within Australia Group, as well as among Japan, us and Australia team. There are some reasons contributes to communication problems. Firstly, language barrier and physical barrier. Nintendo, a multinational company, headquartered in Japan, us in Australia, which can result in culture and language differences. When these individual groups assemble, company face the challenges of small group dynamics and team communication issues. The secondly reason to bring communication issue is systematic barrier. Due to the high incidence of globalization, distance learning, or freelance contributions, communications of Nintendo are usually conducted by short video conferencing. The detachment and inability to interact is a huge communication barrier among countries. Projects get stalled or are often misunderstood. Moreover, within Australia Group, each person from different segment for their different interests, and they don't know other departments' operation. Such as, Molly, the Department of Sales said,
Maybe if Liam had done a better job marketing the way the consumers and retailers would know what the hell it is.
However, Liam, head of marketing, said his hands are tied by Nintendo of Japan and America. They ban each other and cannot communicate. Thirdly, attitude barrier. Too often teamwork stops because of someone's ego. They refuse to admit they might be part of the problem. Conflicts also arise because of inequity. Someone becomes defensive instead of taking responsibility. Liam don't want to solve the problem, due to lack of motivation. Furthermore, Reggie and Jatusmi prefer Nintendo Switch replace the Wii U, which suits their markets and customers. However, it is not the case for Australia team. Finally, because of different personality of characters, they fail to listen to each other. Co-workers interrupt speakers or plan what they will say next instead of effectively listening. Liam and Molly complain each other, rather than figuring and solving the problems. Conduct meetings on a regular schedule, such as holding half-year or annual meeting in Australia. Try to schedule live interaction for important issues and do not rely on emails. Team building is a great way of improving communication in the long run, helping employees to get to know each other better from different departments, and learning about one's strengths and weaknesses, such as holding a birthday party, doing communication games every month. In order to make people listen and communication smoothly and overcome the physical barrier, the manager should stress the importance of listening before you begin a discussion. Stress that they maintain eye contact with each speaker involved. Staff training for improving communication skills every year is also important, and the company could hire professional training institution to enhance. Translators are needed when there is language barrier. Solving the problem of attitude different, the team manager should improve the leadership power in the long run, such as control the discussion, trying to turn the conversation back to where it belongs, on the issues at hand. Mutual understanding or coming to a resolution that reflects everyone's needs is often difficult and needs to be softened with a consistent goal message. And making sure that your facial expressions, gestures and tone of voice match the message.
Third, motivation issue. The conversation between Liam and Frank indicates a serious motivation issue, which was led by the unspecific goal given by Nintendo of Japan and America, the poor reward system for employees in Nintendo Australia, and the imbalance of management authority between Nintendo Australia and Nintendo of Japan and America. Based on the goal-setting theory, an effective goal should be specific, reachable and acceptable to people and have timely feedback. However, in the case, the goal given by Reggie and Tatsumi is contrary to the theory. They want the new product Nintendo Switch to have a good performance in Australia market and have a larger impact than Wii U. While they do not give the specific marketing strategy and time frame for the goal or even the assessment indicators, which makes Liam feel the goal is vague and unacceptable to him, so he becomes less motivated. According to the expectancy theory, motivation is determined by the outcomes that people expect to occur as a result of their work activities. If rewards are not attractive, then their efforts will decrease. In the case, Liam considers his pay or the reward is the most desirable motivation. However, in reality, every team member gets similar payments no matter what they have done. In other words, Liam will not get any additional bonuses even the sales of Nintendo Australia increases. As a result, Liam preferred to just follow the requirements by the Nintendo of Japan and America without any innovation. The lack of management authority of Nintendo Australia also contributes to the motivation problem. Liam's task is tied by Nintendo of Japan and America, so even when he views unfavorably for their decisions, he doesn't have the authority to make his own decision for changing the marketing strategy which may be more adaptive to the Australian market. He also has no initiative to do so because there will be penalties for him once the changing marketing strategy turns out to be a failure. Moreover, based on the equity theory, individuals are motivated to maintain an equitable exchange relationship. However, in this case, Molly is unmotivated as she feels that nearly all the marketing work was done by herself rather than Liam. And make a comparison of inputs and outcomes of Liam's possible behavior, it seems that he also encounters the inequality, as he would bear almost all the risks and have no reward if he not follow the instructions from higher up. To solve the motivation issue in Nintendo, here are some recommendations. In the short term, Nintendo of Japan and America should reset a more specific and reachable goal to Nintendo Australia and ensure both parties have timely feedback for the goal. Key performance indicators such as market share, customer loyalty and sales growth could also be applied in performance evaluation. Moreover, the rewards and bonuses for employees should be based on their own performance. In the long run, Nintendo should focus on employees' specific needs to determine their rewards, and align their interests with that of companies via share or option scheme. In addition, Nintendo should enable the autonomy for Australian office and allows more intensive employee voice in its decision making.
This is our reference list.